Hello, hello. How are you? How's your weekend? It's actually less than a month left to Chinese New Year. If you celebrate Chinese New Year, this is the time where you get really busy because you gotta do all these preparations and stuff. I hope everything is good with you. It's the new year, so I guess we're just gonna have fun. All right. Okay, now let's come back to this. Welcome back to Ask Jason Anything about meta advertising and digital marketing. So, if this is the first time you join me, welcome to my universe. My name is Jason. I'm from Malaysia. I'm a meta ads optimization strategist. So, what I essentially do is I help businesses get better results with meta advertising. So, whether you've been running ads yourself and you kind of like can't seem to find a stable framework to get stable results with predictable outcomes, that's one problem that I can work with you to kind of find a solution. Because what we essentially would do is we're gonna build a strategy for your business and we're gonna optimize until you find a framework that works pretty well for you. Now, on the other hand, if you have been running ads and you kind of like want to take it to the next level, but you can't find a really predictable scaling method, because to be frank, scaling, there are many ways of scaling. Scaling means if you have been getting good results, for example, you want to take it to the next level, you want to spend more. Like my client wants to, like 10x the ad spend, but usually when you double the ad spend, things go crappy. So how do you actually 10x the ad spend? There are various strategies available. So what I usually work with my client is actually to first, before we talk about scaling, we will actually look at the current campaign if there is any optimization opportunities that we can take to kind of push it further without spending more, which is totally normal. Like recently, I worked with a client where they were getting like kind of decent ROAS. I think they were doing it about like 7x ROAS, pretty decent. But what we realize is even with 7x ROAS that they are having, the CTR is still rather low, as in CTR stands for click-through rate, right? The average ad CTR is at about like 0.4 to 0.5%. So what we did was we actually kind of like, we launched a series of different ads, and we also look at other things like the placement options and all that by optimizing and finding the best place and what kind of ad format that works best. And we launched the ad and we managed to push the CTR to, I think currently we are standing about like 0.6, 0.7, but we already see about like 10% increment in terms of the overall revenue without spending more. So this is what I mean by optimization before we take it to the scaling level. Because you can't, I in a way, I kind of believe that we shouldn't scale an under optimized campaign, because you don't even know what's working and what's not working. And eventually when you scale, you do not know what kind of metric that you should be tracking. So that's my argument when it comes to scaling. So yeah, if you need help building a strategy to scale, but before that, talking about optimization, finding what's working and what's not working with your campaign, then let's have a quick chat and see what we can do together. There are various ways that we can work together. One is you can let me bring up my screen real quick. One is you can actually like book a one-on-one Zoom call with me. So this would take you to my tidy care where you can book a 30 minutes or 60 minutes. Essentially, in my opinion, 30 minutes is good enough, where you and I are going to spend 30 minutes diving into your current campaign, especially if you do run ads. We're going to dive into your campaign and we're going to do three things together. First, we're going to build a dashboard to see what are the metrics that we should be tracking with your campaign, because different business, different campaign type and all, we will have to see different metrics. So we build a dashboard and then we analyze the campaign together. That's the second thing that you and I are going to do together, where we're going to really find out what's working and what's not working. And then eventually we're going to go to the third step, which is we're going to build a plan where, we're going to come up with a few things that we can do in the next few weeks, for example, and let's test one thing at a time. So essentially, this is really the best way for us to really find out what's working and what's not working at your campaign and what are the things that we can do to take it to the next level. So if that's something that you're looking for, then scan this QR code and I look forward to work with you. So this is one off. Now, if you want to have a more closer one-on-one working relationship with me, whereby we're going to take on a journey to whether you want to optimize your campaign or you want to build a strategy or you want to build a plan to scale your campaign, to take your business to the next level, I will recommend that you look for this one-on-one Meta Ads coaching. So this is essentially, I only take, like that amount of clients every month. We do not have more than 15 clients at one go. The idea here is I want to pay closer attention to the clients that I work with. So in this program, you and I are going to spend weekly 30 minutes together. And on top of that, you have my email support. Anything you have new creative, you have new idea, you can bounce over to me. And I also have access to your ad account, whereby if there is anything that you want to quickly look into, let's say your campaign suddenly went volatile, you want me to come in and take a look to see what can we do. That's part of the coaching program that we will work together. So essentially, this is going to be a monthly subscription, whereby I would say, if you want to stabilize the campaign, optimize the campaign, or even build a plan to scale, usually it would take about two to 3 months. So in 2 to 3 months, we're going to meet on a weekly basis. We're going to have email support. We're going to have closer discussion, and I'm going to have really close monitor, your campaign performance and all that, so that we can have a follow through kind of process where we will build a plan on how we can really take your campaign to the next level, whether to optimize, to strategize, and or to scale it. So yeah, so like I said, this is where you can scan this QR code. We're gonna have a quick discussion for about 20 minutes. First, I need to understand your business to see whether I'm able to help, and second is we want to know whether we see eye to eye in terms of where we want to go. If there's something that I can do, then let's work together. Otherwise, we can always look at what will be the next best possibility that we can work together. So yeah, if that's something that you're looking for, scan this QR code, and I look forward to work with you. All right, now let's get to the question. Now, before that, I was looking at this, right? So what I essentially do here on a weekly basis is I go live for about 30 minutes each week, essentially to answer questions that I receive from my community, mainly on my YouTube channel, questions about meta advertising, digital marketing, and stuff like that. So if you have any questions regarding Facebook advertising, meta advertising, Instagram advertising, or digital marketing, what I would recommend you to do as a start is please go to my YouTube channel, try to search for an answer to see if I have created a video related to the question you have or the challenge that you are facing. If you can find one, great, watch the video, get the solution, move on to the next step. Otherwise, you can always post your question as a comment, where I'm going to answer your questions live. I'm going to do a screenshot on your question, which you're going to see later. And then I'm going to answer your questions live. So yeah, but in case you want something that is, like you say, I have this problem, I want it solved, and I have this question, I want it answered right now. Can I have a one-on-one? Yes, you can. Scan this QR code. You can book a 30 minutes or 60 minutes one-on-one. I would say start with 30 minutes, but if you have more questions, you believe you need to spend more time, then go for it. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a one-on-one Zoom call. You can share your screen. I can look at your numbers. We can do screen sharing and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just me and you, and let's solve whatever challenges or to answer any questions you have over meta advertising. All right, if that's something you're looking for, then scan this QR code, and I look forward to working with you. Now, I'm going to go to the first question that I received today. So the first question is about publishing Facebook ads to your page. So Kathleen is asking, it looks like Meta Ads Manager has been updated and the option doesn't appear anymore. You are right. Yeah, Meta Advertising, Meta Ads Manager has changed a lot in the past 1 year or two. But then again, I recently just took a look at it, I'm just going to dive into it. So I look at it, it seems like it is still there, but like I say, Ads Manager, business portfolio, and everything is totally, a very dynamic thing. Like your version and my version are probably different. So what I see and what you see might be different. So I'm going to just quickly walk through on how I find and how I publish a post to my Facebook page, as in like ad post. So we come in here, same thing, right? Just like what I did in the video itself. So first we come into all tools. You should be able to find something like page posters over here, as you can see at the bottom. Do you see that? Am I able to zoom in a little bit? Yeah, I look at the cursor, that's the page post, right? So if I go into the page post, I think, it's still very similar. But then again, I have not been posting on my Facebook page for a while. So I'm going to go to, wait 1 second. I'm going to go to my page, Tribe Up Academy. So yeah, for some reason, this looks, I don't know whether they're updating it or not, because I've got more posts over here, but they're asking us to go to Meta Business Suite, where if you go to Meta Business Suite, it takes you to the place where you manage all these posts and stuff like that, right? So over here, I'm sure that you won't be able to find your ad post anymore. Yeah, over here in the Meta Business Suite, you won't be able to see it anymore. But if you still have my version, what I did was I go into the Meta Business Suite, as in like the Business Manager over here that looks like this. And I click on this All Tools button, and I go all the way to the page post. You see, like I don't find the page post here, but it was there, all right? Page post, and I'm able to see all these things here. So publish post is now in Meta Business Suite. Scheduled post too is also now in Meta Business Suite. However, the ad posts are still here. I have not been running ads for a long, long time. But then again, yeah, it's been a year plus now. But yeah, this was the last ad I did. So it is still here. And yeah, it's a little bit buggy. Maybe they're not updating it anymore. And I still can actually publish this to the page. So this is what I'm seeing over here. So I essentially still have this option, but like I said, you may not have it because we may have different versions of business portfolio, which was called Business Manager, and they are merging things here and there. Yes, as you can see, they are moving the published posts and scheduled posts to Meta Business Suite now. And in Meta Business Suite, I am very sure that we do not have this ad post feature anymore. So there you go. That's all I can do for you at the moment. So yeah. So if you ask me, do we still have this? I still have this, but I'm not very sure about you. But then again, good luck finding it. But yet again, if you really want your post, even if you don't have the feature, you still want your post to appear, as in like your ad post to appear on your page. Like I said, you can always do it the other way around, as in you can post a post first, and then you can use the post to create an ad in the Ads Manager under the, like using existing post feature in the Ads Manager, which essentially you will still get the same. But the only thing is you're not able to do special so-called certain placements or formats. Like when you're creating posts on your Facebook page, you can't do carousel, right? But in your Ads Manager, you can do carousel. So if you want to publish a carousel as a post, as an ad, and publish it to the page, you no longer can do that, but you can always do it the other way around. Maybe you use a placement or a format that is supported by the page, and then you use that to run ads. I hope that makes sense, right? So yeah, but in case you need help navigating the Business Manager, Business Suite, because to be frank, some people still find the Meta Business Suite, Meta Business Portfolio, and stuff like that are really complicated. Like the other day, I just helped one of my clients. Yeah, they booked a 1-hour session just for me to do a Meta Business Manager or Business Suite now. Like 101, as in like how do we organize the assets? It's an agency, so they want to, like know the best way to work with the client. How do we work on the assets? How do we work with as a partner? How do we use all these features? How do we navigate things? Like even if you want to assign pixel to an ad account, that is also not as straightforward in the current business portfolio. So just in case you need help with your business portfolio, you want somebody to come in and walk through certain things with you, because that's what I do, right? Day in, day out since 2010. So if you need help, then you can always scan this QR code to book a 30 minutes. I'd say 30 minutes is good enough, but you have a lot of questions, then you go for the 60. So essentially, it's just going to be me and you over a Zoom call. We're going to look at all the challenges that you have, all the questions you have. We can even analyze your campaign, whatever you need to do. Regarding meta advertising, we can do it within the call, just you and me anyway. So yeah, and everything will be recorded so that you can use that as a reference moving forward. So yeah, if that's something that you're looking for, then scan this QR code, and I look forward to work with you. Okay, now let's come back to this. The next question here is coming from Ramadan Hassan. So the question you have here is, it's not a question, it's a challenge, saying that your ads account is facing frequent ban. Now, then if that's the situation that you're facing, my question to you is, what do you do? You see, when you have frequent ban on your ad account, you either do something that is totally violating Meta advertising rule, or you are selling something that is not allowed on Meta platform. So if you're not in any of these two scenarios, then let me ask you, what are you doing? Are you running ads with the creative that is not allowed by Meta, or are you doing something that is violating? See, here's the thing. To a lot of business, Meta advertising, Facebook advertising, Instagram advertising is actually not just needed. It's the business itself. If you don't run ads, your business don't run, because you need this to find the new people, bring them into your business so that you can start selling whatever you're selling, right? So the ad account is really important. That's why I always like to tell my client that we need to protect our ad account. So how do we protect an ad account? First, if you're selling something that is not allowed, then don't run ads at all, because you know that it's going to be banned. So say, for example, if you're in gambling line, which is not allowed, if you're selling some drugs or whatever, which is not allowed. So please don't do all these things, because yeah, it's illegal anyway. And Meta won't allow you to run ads, especially if you're in some countries like Malaysia and all that. It's not going to happen. But here's the thing: if you're selling something like, if you are even selling something that is sensitive, like one of my clients in Philippines, they do aesthetic clinics. So aesthetic clinics, they do all this filler, Botox kind of stuff. Yeah, it's a very tricky business, but we still can find a way to navigate. You just need to know what you can't do and what you can do and what you shouldn't do. So you need to understand the meta advertising rules. So you need to read, you need to understand. But even if they ban you, they usually tell you why. Like the other day, a client of mine who is doing more like boudoir photography, whereby like they do really make the women look really attractive and take beautiful photos of them. But because some photos are a little bit revealing, Meta flag it as like sensitive photos. So at one point, one of our ad account was flagged. But then again, when it's flagged, they will inform you, and what you need to do is stop using whatever it is and start doing what needs to be done to change the situation. Because as long as your ad account is being flagged, your profile is kind of tainted as well, because it's connected. So, if you have done something and you continue to do something, Meta would always follow you, because you're already being flagged as somebody who may do something wrong. Whatever you do, you keep creating ad account and all that, it's not going to work. So what you really need to do is really find out what you should do or what you should change in order to make sure that you're aligned with the rules and regulations. So that's my advice for you. Like I say, I don't know about your business, but to a lot of my clients, if you don't run ads on Meta, on Facebook and Instagram, your business don't run. So you need the business. So don't do anything funny to play with the rules, or or go and like step on the line to make things complicated for yourself. It's not Meta. Meta can just close you, and they can still make money from, like hell, a lot of advertisers from all around the world. They don't lose a lot, even if you spend a lot, it's them, right? But to us, it's the business. If the business don't sell, if it's not running ads, we are not getting the revenue, it's not going to sustain. So don't do anything funny like that. So that's my recommendation. So just in case, if you need help, you want somebody who has experience navigating all these ban and stuff like that, to look at your situation and see what you can do to change your situation whereby you face frequent ban. In that case, then you can scan this QR code. Let's have a quick 30 minutes discussion over Zoom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at your ad account, to look at your ban messages and all that, probably to give you some pointers about things that you should avoid, so that you won't get banned again. I hope that makes sense. Otherwise, business don't run. And yeah, we are the one who's in trouble, not Meta, not Facebook, not Instagram. You get what I mean? So yeah, if that's something that you're looking for, then scan this QR code, and I look forward to work with you. All right, and next question I have here is coming from Antonio. So Antonio said, you have no idea what happened to your ad account. I mean, your account. You say, I'm not sure whether it's the ad account or profile or business portfolio, but you say you look around to see what was the issue. It was not clear to you. You think it was linked to different page or post or something like that. You do not do business at that time, I suppose. So you ban. I'm not understanding this very well, but actually you say that you did not know what was the violation to their policies until they ban you. So I think first thing first, when your account is banned, we need to find out what kind of ban that you are having. Like I mentioned just now, it could be a profile ban, it could be an ad account ban, or it could be a page ban, or it could be an ad business portfolio band. Different band has got different way of navigating. So let's say if you have a profile band, most likely that's the most frequent band that I've ever seen. So a profile band usually is because two things. If you do not run ads, then they still ban you. It's probably because maybe before that you ran ad before, or at one point it was triggered to Meta that you asked. A little bit like, I don't know whether they flag you as a suspicious one or whatnot, but usually what they require you to do, if you've got ad account ban, which is profile ban, which is linked, right? So in that situation, what Meta usually want us to do is for us to submit our ID. So if you go into the ads manager, they will tell you that, look, in the support center, they will tell you that, look, we need you to verify your ID or whatnot to make sure that you're a real human. That's usually it is what it is. So you just need to submit your ID, whether it's driving license or your ID. So usually you'll get through the ban within 48 hours. So that is the most common ban, which can be tricky. Why? Because when they ban you on your profile level, if you do not respond within certain period, usually they give you 7 days. Back then they were giving like 30 days or something like that. Now I think it's a lot shorter, like 7 days. If you do not respond, it becomes permanent ban. So when it's a permanent ban, it's gone. You cannot reverse this, and you cannot find way to navigate and to contact Meta to get it unbanned anymore. So the only thing you can do is actually to start a new profile. But if you need to get back into running ads, my best recommendation for you here is borrow someone else's profile, create a new page, create a new ad account, and start running ads right away. At the same time, you yourself as a person, you're going to create a new profile, but you do not jump into advertising right away. What I would recommend you to do is warm up your profile for at least 2 months. As in, when I say warm up, means maybe you can start posting regularly, add some friends, join some groups, and then eventually Meta will label you as, okay, now this is legal, this is like decent. Then by the time you are warm up 2 months down the road, your new profile, your new business portfolio with a new page and new ad account should be running fine as well. So when you join that, you can then take over and, as yourself, you add yourself back into the business portfolio as a full admin, and you should be able to take over everything from there, from your friend, whether it's your family or whatever. So that profile that you borrow in the very first place must be a profile that is not a new one. It's best is really somebody who has been on Facebook for at least like 5 years or at least 3 years, and you may have lesser problem, but that's the whole idea. So that's the easiest navigation if you have a profile ban. Whereas if you have an ad account ban, only ad account, not profile, then you can always create a new new ad account and start running ads again. And if you have a portfolio ban, like business portfolio, like the other day, a client came to me, they have a business portfolio ban, but their profile is fine and everything is good. So what we need is we just create a new business portfolio, and we can still bring the old page in and everything, and we can still almost instantly we start running ads in no time. So to me, it's very simple. You got to really find out what's happening to your account, and we do the right thing to whether to solve the problem or to navigate to find the best way to get back into advertising. Because to me, it's not the account that we have a lot of sentimental value for. Because to be frank, nowadays people don't post a lot of things on Facebook and all that, and all these so-called relationships built on Facebook may not be that important anymore. But if you love it, then well, protect your account. But then again, if your important thing is to get back into running ads, because like I say, a lot of business, when they don't run ads on Facebook or Instagram, they don't run the business at all, because they really need that. Otherwise, the business just don't run, right? So the most important thing is get back into running ads as soon as we can. So in that case, then that's what I say, like borrow someone else's profile, create a new business manager, new page, new ad account, don't care. Don't even linger on the old page. Even if you have tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people on the page itself, it's not that important. What is important is keep the business running, isn't it? So yeah, get back into running ads. Yeah. And yeah, find out what's happening and do the right thing. That's what I'm recommending you to do. So just in case, if you need help, you're not sure what's going on, you want somebody to navigate with you to find out what's happening, and to probably explore the best solution or best options you have in order to get back into advertising, scan this QR code. Let's book a 30 minutes one-on-one Zoom call. What we do is we're gonna do screen share. We're gonna look into your ads manager, your portfolio, your profile, and whatever, to find out really what happened. And then let's plan the best route for you to get back into advertising, because yeah, that's the whole purpose of this thing. Okay, so if that's something that you're looking for, then scan this QR code, and I look forward to working with you. All right, looks like we are like 25 minutes down. I do have one more topic that I wanted to discuss, but I guess this may take a little bit longer. Maybe I'll do it next week. Anyway, so if you have any questions regarding meta advertising, digital marketing, first thing first, please go to my YouTube channel. Treat it as a more like an archive of meta advertising related questions and all that. Try to search for an answer, because I posted over 1,000 videos. Chances I probably posted something related to whatever you're facing right now. If you can find an answer, great. Move on and do the next thing, because yeah, you have 1,000 things to deal with when it comes to meta advertising. But if you cannot find an answer, all you need to do is just post your question as a comment on any of my YouTube videos. And what I'm going to do is on the following Sunday, I'm going to screenshot your question and I'm going to answer your questions live over here. So yeah, all right. So with that, thank you so much for joining me, whether you're watching this live or the replay. Have an awesome week ahead. I will see you next week. Have a good one. Good night. Bye.